Hey everyone, my name's Ty, and today I'm going to tell you how I was able to pass the CompTIA Security Plus with no experience. I mean, nada. Like, I'm 25 years old, and at 18, I enrolled in esthetician school. After school, I just jumped out there and opened my own business doing facials, chemical peels, waxing. The only technology thing I've ever really done, I was about 15 and I was in a computer programming class. We just made games. Like, I don't really know. I don't remember. That was almost 10 years ago. So I don't really remember much. So I would say that I'm not the most technological savvy person. I rarely know how to use a printer. I don't know how to fix a printer if you ask me. I don't know how to reload the paper. I don't know. So I need help sometimes with using email. At my new job, I'm just learning how to work Excel. So when I don't have experience with computers, like I thought it was for kind of geeks at one point. So I was just like, that's just not my lane, but here I am. So in December 2023, I was working my spa business and I decided I'm so done having a business and I closed it down. I just love stability. Like I like to know I'm getting a consistent income, and after COVID, I feel like things definitely changed, and my clientele really wasn't a consistent clientele with my regimens I would give them or just booking, and I was just like, it's not their fault, but it's just like I know what I need for myself, so I'm like, I don't know what's next for me, but this isn't it. As well as in 2022, I enrolled in a boot camp, my tech best friend, and I was really excited about that. I had heard a lot of great things about it. It ended up not being the best thing for me. So I just got discouraged in the technology realm. I was working as a medical assistant in a dermatology practice because I wanted to see, like, skincare is definitely my passion. So maybe I wanted to be a dermatologist and take that route of being a doctor. So I wanted to get in technology in 2022, but I just was like, that boot camp really deterred me. Like, I was like, I never want to. I just need a break from all of this. Anyway, I just had to say that part to add to the story. But in January 2023, after a month after I closed my business down, I'm like, okay, Tyler, I think let's just try to get back in tech. I followed a lot of the tech, like, gurus, like Simone B's, a lot of girls. I don't want to say their names, but I follow them on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm just like, they're in tech, they're paid, they're baddies. Maybe this is something that I can get into. I joined Simone B's program, and it was awesome. Like, this was when I believe she just kind of like started out because the price was really nice, or she had a sale, I'm not sure, and she gave me all the tips. She was giving out the tips of how to pass Security Plus. So I was like, okay, I need to start with my Sec Plus. Let's start there. So in her course, she recommends to get Darrel Gibson's Get Certified, Get Ahead book. So I got that book. I Amazon Primed it because I wanted to start right away. I remember when I was like, I got the book in my hand and I opened the book and I seen like something like the first page. I don't even know if it was the first page, but it was like log.x, and I bursted into tears because I'm like, what the hell did you just get yourself into, Tyler? Like, what are you about to do? I was so scared. Like, seeing things like that, it was just really overwhelming, and I just shut my book and I didn't open it for a month. Like, I was going to see my man in Jamaica for a month, and I'm like, okay, let me just focus on what I can, packing my bags and things like that, because I don't see how I'm going to pass this exam. I don't know how. May comes around. Mind you guys, I stayed 3 months extra in Jamaica, 3 months more than I was supposed to stay. So I was like, okay, Tyler, like, I know tech is what I want to do. What are we going to do? Because I said I have to have this cert before the summer is over. This is my goal right now. And I locked myself in a room for 6 to 8 hours a day, just studying everything I could find. I definitely think you need to have a plan of what you're studying. I was just on Reddit clicking on things that people said was great for them. So, which I do think is great. I did use Exam Compass. And I forget this other site, but I will link it below. And it just had a great set of questions. And that was about it. So I booked my exam for sometime in June at home, and I did not pass that exam. I got 694. I already had a feeling that I wasn't going to pass it because I'm someone who loves a stable environment. And myself, I decided to take the test at home And I have 3 nieces and nephews who are 4, 3, and 2 years old. And we have a housekeeper, and she's always coming in and out of the room. We have like a few people in the home, so it's just like, I'm like, oh gosh, are the babies gonna come in and distract me, or come in and the proctor's there? Like, I was just thinking so many things the whole time I'm taking my test, and then also knowing somebody's watching me. The proctor is like they're like looking at your every move. It just made me feel really uncomfortable. So I already kind of knew, and there was just like stuff in the exam. I'm like, oh my god, I did not study this. I just thought I seen people say they passed in 9 days, so I was like, okay, I can do this easily. Like, I'm gonna pass, but yeah, I did it. So this June, the Friday in June, it was like more so the end of the month. I failed that exam on Friday, and I was like, I called my mom and just bursted out crying. I was like, I don't know, I'm really hard on myself, and to me, I'm like, this exam, this is gonna change your life if you get this cert, Taylor. Let's go. Like, I already live an amazing life, but this was just something for me to prove to myself that I could do it. And I just like cried my heart out, and I felt like a failure. I don't know, am I getting emotional? No, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me. It was hard for me. But I was like, really, I'm a resilient person. So give me a couple days and I'm gonna get my ass back up, and I'm gonna study for it again. So that's exactly what I did. I took that weekend from Friday to Sunday. I ate junk food. I just was like happy as hell. I just was like, Monday I'm gonna start this back up, and I'm gonna pass it the second time. So I'm like, Ty, how are we gonna pass this? Like, what are we gonna do different this time? So I said, I'm not using exam compass anymore. Like, I don't know what restudying those things are gonna do to benefit me. I finally cracked open my Darrel Gibson book, and honestly, I didn't read it. I just read the what to know at the back of end of each chapter. I did read the first 2 chapters, but I'm like, I'm on a time crunch right now, and reading this I don't feel like it's a necessity. But I will say, he breaks the book down in a way that anybody can understand it. Like, it's so easy to understand. Obviously the concepts are, can be difficult, but the way he like connects everything, it was really awesome. So this time I said, I gotta go harder this time. I deleted my social media, I deleted my music, and I studied for 12 hours a day. I woke up at 5, and I think I finished around 7, so sometimes more, depending on the day. But I made it a point to do 12 hours for the next 3 weeks, and I only studied Darrel Gibson's book and Professor Messer exams. I didn't do the Professor Messer exams every day because I didn't want to memorize the answers, but I love his exams because he gives you the right answers and tells you why they're right, while also giving you, it's all multiple choice, so he gives you the wrong answers and says why it's wrong. So I just kind of was like, okay, I feel like I have a good understanding of this, okay? I was ready to book my exam. I felt ready. I was like, I've been studying 12 hours a day. I don't know how much more I can remember, how much more I can study. Let's just see what I can do. I also wrote down I am Security Plus certified the second time around. I did that every day, twice a day. And I went to an actual testing center. And this exam was great, but it was significantly harder than my first exam. I finished before everyone else in the room, and I passed the exam with I think it was like a 759 or 769. And I was so proud of myself. I called my mom, and she bursted out crying for me because she's seen like my due diligence, and she's seen like how badly I wanted this, and she just saw when I broke down about it the first time. So she was just like, and we just prayed about it together afterwards, and I just gave God all the glory, guys. So that's my story, and that's how I got my Security Plus. I never really felt a time during those 3 weeks where I did study for 12 hours like, oh, I'm tired of this, I don't want to do this. I never felt that. I also love watching Cristiano Ronaldo and his interviews, and just how like he's like, I can give you the map, but are you gonna do it? So I'm like, oh, he gathered me. Like, I just love I'm really inspired by people who go above and beyond. I think also having a list of why you want Security Plus so bad is great to do. Because when I felt discouraged after my first time and I failed the exam, I wrote down my whys, and I shared my whys on Twitter, so I'm going to share them on here because like people love to hear about it. So my first why is I love a Birkin bag, and I want to collect them like infinity stones. This one. I already know the one that I like, my dream Birkin. So that's materialistic, but I'm not really a materialistic girl. But when it comes to a Birkin, and when it comes to a few designer things, I love them. So yeah, I'm coming for you. Next why is a man cannot be my savior. I have to work, and I think it's essential that every woman has a skill, even if she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. This is nothing against men, but time and time again, history has shown us repeatedly that they will up and leave you for anything. It doesn't matter. I grew up with a single parent. My dad had a great job, but to spite my mom, he intentionally didn't pay child support. And my mom, she didn't work. And from that age, it made me really fearful. And I always, from about 8, I said, I will work, and I'm never going to depend on a man. It doesn't matter how much I love a person or I love him. It's just, I have to have my own. And I am someone who, I challenge myself and I strive for perfection. So I don't see myself playing small. I will get what I want. My next reason why is my brother is like the GOAT of his industry. He's amazing. He's my biggest inspiration. We didn't grow up with a lot, just enough to, I feel like enough to get by, and we grew up in a drug infested neighborhood. So I seen him work so hard to get where he is today, and I'm so grateful that he's gracious enough that he allows all of us to like enjoy the fruits of his labor. But I also want to enjoy the fruits of my own labor as well. But he's introduced us to a lifestyle that I only wished for. I went to, although I grew up in a low income kind of environment, my mom sent us to private school that was almost like an hour away, and it was predominantly white. So I was able to see my friends have it all, and I'm like, God, I wish I could do this. I wish my friends could come over and, you know, blah blah blah. And now it's like they can do all those things, because like my brother, he has like a Rolls Royce, he has a Lamb, and he has property. So it's just like, I love that. And so I want to upkeep that lifestyle. Like I want to be able to, you know, continue that lifestyle, but all from me as well, and all from my hard work. So I'm excited to be able to do that. And now I just like, you know, I'm getting married soon, and I want to have a family, and it's really big to me that I can take care of my kids. Again, it just kind of all leads back to how I was, you know, brought up and being raised by a single mother. I don't want my kids like, you know, I don't mind. I know my man's not leaving me because I look too good and I'm an amazing woman. But you just never know. But I know he's not. But you know, I always am thinking ahead, and I want to know, like, you know, if there's a possibility that you want to leave all of this fineness, then me and your kids is good. Me and my babies were great. I can afford the same kind of lifestyle, you know, with or without you. And I'm not saying that in a way of like, I know my fiance wouldn't do those things, but it's just something that from what I saw as a young age, it's not happening. Like, I have to have my own. Okay. After I got my Security Plus in July, within like 10 days, I had a job as a Compliance Analyst. And that was my dream, to get into GRC. So I just want to say that getting your Security Plus sets you apart, because I was applying to compliance roles just with, you know, my from the GRC certificate. And like I said, I was getting things, but it wasn't as fast. But I also applied, okay, I have to say, I applied to 40 to 60 jobs a day after I got my Security Plus. And I think that's the difference from when I had the Simply Cyber, because I definitely was getting hits. But when I buckled down and said, girl, you're not going back to a regular job now. Like, you work your butt off to, you know, not have to be a medical assistant again. You better apply to 40 to 60 jobs a day, guys. People were always like, what in the world? How did you do that, guys? My little tip is apply to 10 jobs every hour for the next 5 hours. I probably sound crazy to people, but that's just how bad I wanted it. Like, was I bored out of my mind filling out the applications? Was I tired of the long ass applications? Absolutely. But I knew, like, I don't have time to waste. I'm not gonna be idle another month. Like, I wasn't idle, but I'm like, I want to work. So, and I want to work in tech. And I did just that. So, guys, push yourself for these next 2 months, and I'm telling you, you're gonna come out of this a different person.